From here, I'd like to go into a demo and show a little bit of the stack that we've built. I'll exit out presentation mode here and jump into GrantStack. So anyone can go to gitcoin.co/GrantStack, check out the tool. It's fully permissionless. It's built on top of the Allo protocol that I mentioned, so you don't need Gitcoin's permission to use this. GrantStack is a stack of 3 different things at its core. For one, there's Builder. Builder is essentially the place that if you're an applicant or a grantee and you're looking to apply to a grants round, you come and create a Builder profile. The way that you do that is you would log in using a wallet. You can see here some of the test profiles that I built. Fairly easy to do. You would click New Project. You would select the network that you want to launch it on. So you can see here a list of the different EVM networks that we have today, with more in the pipeline to be added. You would click Next, and pretty simple. You would name the project. You would give it a website. You can upload your logo, a project banner, give your project a description, click Next, sign a transaction, and that's it. Once you've done that, you would be able to go and your profile would be located here. And you can see here a test profile that I've set up. You can even see the different applications that I've applied to across the different rounds. So pretty simple. For anyone that's participating in the Gitcoin Grants program today or participating in rounds that we run on top of Gitcoin GrantStack, you would create a Builder profile as really the first step to be able to apply to those. And then that starts to build up a history over time of the different applications that you've applied to. The other part of GrantStack is what we call Explorer. So Explorer helps with discoverability of the different rounds that we're running on top of GrantStack. You can see here, if you go to the home page, you can click on Explore Rounds. You can see the different rounds that are running on top of GrantStack. So if I'm a builder, I can create a profile. I can come here and I can start to look at the different rounds that I can apply to. I can click into those rounds, and you can see here it gives some high-level details on the round stats, if funding has been allocated, what projects have been approved to the round, and then I can click on Apply Now, use my builder profile, and easily apply to that. So we're trying to make it as smooth and seamless a process as possible for people to find the different rounds that are running on top of GrantStack and easily apply to them, and increase the discoverability of those using this tool that we built called Explorer. The last part of GrantStack is called Manager. So if I'm a program manager and I'm looking to create grant rounds, this is where I would mostly live. You can hop into Manager, and you're probably going to see a gnarly number of programs under my profile because I create a lot of them. But pretty easy to do. You would come in here, you click Create Program, you would name it, you add the different wallet addresses that would be administrators on that program, so they would have the ability to add grant rounds, approve applicants, do payouts, all those types of things. You can come in here with an EOA. You can also link a safe as well, and so we do have multi-sig support for those that want to link a multi-sig and use that instead of a hot wallet. So pretty easy. You would add the name of the program, the wallet, click Save, and sign a transaction. Once that's done, your program would appear here. Once the program is set up, you can click in here and you can see the different types of rounds that are running. You can see we have quadratic funding and direct grants available here. Retro funding is a separate interface, which I'll show here in just a second. And so to create a round, it's fairly simple. You click Create Round. You would select whether or not you want to do quadratic funding or direct grants. So we'll try quadratic funding. You would name the round. You would put how you want people to contact you if they have questions. You would give the applications a start and an end date. You can enable rolling applications, so not time bound those, or you can put time boundaries around them. You can have the round start and end date. So applications is when applications come in, obviously, and people can apply to the round. The round is when donations are opening up for QF round. If this were direct grants, you wouldn't have this time bound around the round. You would just have dates for when you want to accept applications. You have the option to make your round public, meaning it will show on Explorer, the site that I showed earlier, or you can make the round private, which means you're provided a link, and that link would have to be provided for anyone that you want to apply to the round. So we'll go ahead and do some dates here. Click Next. You would choose the token that you want to pay out from. So these are the tokens that we have integrated in Arbitrum today. Depending on the network that you create rounds on, other tokens would be available. It's pretty easy for us to spin up tokens as long as they're ERC20, permit to capable, we can add them in. So if you're an ecosystem that desires to set up a round and you want, a custom token added, that's definitely something that we can consider, and I'd love to talk with you about that. So for this round, we would name how much matching funds we want. So again, this is the pool of funds that will be allocated based on the decisions made by the community in the crowdsourcing campaign. You can set a matching cap, which means any project in the round cannot receive more than this percentage of the total matching funds available. Typically, we set matching caps between 5 and 10%. If you got questions about that, that's definitely something we can consult with you on and kind of find the best fit. You can set a minimum donation threshold. And so this is the minimum amount someone has to donate for it to count towards the matching results. And then you have some options around civil defense, which is a whole other subject, probably more time than I have here to talk about, but just know that QF rounds can be gamed if you're not careful and you have considerations around civil defense. We've developed some pretty strong protections around that, and we're happy to jump in and share more details on how those work. For this, we'll disable Passport, which is one of the tools that we built just to kind of move through the round setup. But just know there is options there, and we can definitely consult with you on what works best if interested. You would add a description for your round here. You would add eligibility requirements here. These essentially would be the requirements that grantees would have to meet to be able to apply to the round. So you can make that clear here, the applicants you're looking for. And then from here, think of this as almost a type form. This is the questions that you're going to fill out that grantees would answer. These are all default questions that will be answered by the builder profile that they have. So it will be audio associated with their application. You can have people add their Twitter, their GitHub. You can have them verify that they own those accounts too, as a way to cut down on spam or false applications. And then from here, you can edit the different types of questions that you want. One is payout wallet. So that is required that people add the wallet that they want funds sent to. Aside from that, you can choose the different types of fields that you want to add to the application. Click that. You could add yes, no questions. You can add paragraph summaries, like whatever it might be, similar to, Typeform or Google Forms or those types of things. You can add that in. And then once we're done with all these questions, you would click launch, sign a transaction. Again, everything happening with GrantStack is on chain. And then once that's done, your grant round would show up here. And then as applications start to come into that grant round, you can review those, approve them, move them through a workflow where you receive them, you approve or deny them. Once approved, you can do milestone-based payouts, anything you want that way in terms of being able to manage the grant applications all the way from intake to payout, all the way through their life cycle. So that, at a high level, is GrantStack. We've kind of reviewed that GrantStack is 3 main components: builder, explorer, and manager, and the different use cases for each of those components.